Good evening, I'm Cole Hartman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. With 4 regular season games to go in 2023, head football coach Matt Rhule met with the media one last time before the departure to East Lansing. After spending 5 of the last 6 Saturdays in Lincoln, the coach was asked what he thinks of road games. Here's what he had to say.
I love going on the road. I get to sleep. I sleep on the plane. I usually try to get to the hotel and sleep unless Keith has media for me. And, I love being in the hotel. I love being with the guys, coaches. I like going to the movie with. We do that at home, obviously, too. But and I love walking into another team stadium, especially a place like Michigan State, a place that I respect. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch these guys go play. And it should be, like I said, I expect this to be a great football game with 2 physical, blue-collar, tough teams. And I love playing at 11 a.m. So, I like to wake up and play. So I'm really excited to see the guys and see what they can do.
Coming up on the show, we'll hear more from Coach Rhule's press conference. And keeping with Husker football, the Big Ten announced the 2024 conference schedule, the first season without divisions in the new 18-team conference. Nebraska will host 4 teams in Lincoln next fall, and that is Illinois, Rutgers, UCLA, and Wisconsin. 5 conference contests will be decided on the road at Purdue, Indiana, Ohio State, USC, and Iowa. Full details of the schedule and tickets for next fall can be found on Huskers.com. Husker soccer has been up in Columbus, Ohio, battling in the Big Ten championships this week. They are currently in the final few seconds of their semifinals match with Wisconsin, where they trail 3-1. And finally, Prime Video hosts Week 9 of Thursday Night Football tonight. The 3-4 Titans travel to Pittsburgh to battle the 4-3 Steelers. That one gets underway at 7:15 Central. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is a full 2 hours of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Hoiberg under center, Fleeks is the deep back. Wide receivers left and right, turn. Back to throw, a play action look. Hoiberg going to take a shot downfield, has a man wide open. Malachi Coleman makes the catch. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Cats outside center, Nebraska. Badenhorst, kaboom! Oh, waking babies all over Evanston. Wow, emphatic.
Now back to the near side comes A.J. Hennig. Sullivan gets the snap, back to throw, pumps, gets rushed, gets hit, throws down. Then a sack. Pulled down again by Nash, his second sack of the game, all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Could this be the match? And here's the call. Net violation, we're done. Nebraska defeats Wisconsin. They did it. Call the grandkids. Nebraska takes down mighty Wisconsin. A second deuce game, and they love it in Lincoln.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And here we are Thursday night. Looking outside, I still see daylight. That will not be the case next week when we come in here for shows. It'll be dark by now.
I like that we get an hour, but then it also kind of is depressing a little bit to be on this show and it be dark out here.
Yeah. So there's your PSA for the night. Turn your clocks back. Saturday night.
It's where you get the extra hour of sleep, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You do. I don't mind that at all. And then I know people hate it in the spring when you lose the hour, but you pick up the daylight.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, heck, I'll put up with that.
There's a little positive with both time changes.
Yeah. So
I feel like it's harder for me to adjust to that than it is this one.
Yeah, you lose the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Huskers lost. It's over in Columbus. They lose in the semifinal. Second straight year Husker soccer gets beat in a semifinal round. They lose to Wisconsin 3-1. It was tied at 1 at the half. Sarah Weber scored Nebraska's lone goal. But that's not the end of their season. Last year, you didn't know. You thought they were on the fence. They ended up just missing the NCAA tournament. They're not going to miss this year. The pairings come out Monday. And they should have a home match next Thursday at Hibner, and the weather looks pretty good next week for that. So their season will continue.
Yeah, I don't mind the fact that I mean, obviously you always want to win and you want to win a title, but I don't mind losing in the tournament when your spot is guaranteed and you also have locked up also hosting, which they were talking about that on the broadcast. It pretty much should be a sure deal that they get to also host that first round. Whereas last year they needed to probably win one more to get into the tournament. So there's just a lot more riding on that. And this year they've taken care of business. And they were talking about how 9 teams could get into the NCAA tournament from the Big Ten. So that just goes to show you how grueling of a season it's been for the conference and for them. And they've won 7 in a row, I guess now, and going into today. So I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing to get a couple extra days rest and practice and preparation for the NCAA tournament.
They wouldn't feel that way right now to tell them that.
No.
But we can say that and be, I think, honest about it, because I think it does save your legs. You do like to win titles and trophies.
But they already got one.
And they got one with the co-championship with Michigan State, who, by the way, lost in the first round. They got upset by Iowa over the weekend, so they're not even there. They didn't make the Final Four of the Big Ten tournament. Iowa will play Penn State in the second semifinal here in just a little bit. And again, the NCAA pairings come out on Monday is when they'll find out who they're playing, their fate. Do they get a home match? I think they will. Top 32 get to host, and their RPI is in good shape. I think they're a shoe-in to host. So congratulations, what a great year, and it's not over yet.
Yeah, it's
soccer.
Definitely not. That's why you take care of business as much as you can, not just in conference play, but also in non-conference. I mean, I think that's why this team, every player that I had come in, Sarah Weber before the season, Eleanor Dale in the middle of non-conference, going into their final non-conference game, and then the couple that we've had since then, they've all mentioned that non-conference. And I think that was part of, if you look at last year, they were one of the last teams that were left out. And, the first 4 out or whatever you want to call it. And part of that was because they didn't take care of business in the non-conference, because they got hot at the end of the season, but it wasn't enough. And so that's why they made such a huge emphasis on taking care of business at the beginning of the season and then into the conference play. And so, here they are. They've done what they had to do to secure a spot, not only in the postseason, but also a chance to host, which is a huge advantage as well. So, that's right there. The proof is in the pudding. And for some of these young players are going to see that the importance of that, because the older players that got left out, boy, that was tough last year for them to be right there on the fringe and to be left out. But I don't necessarily think, as much as, you want to win every game, you want to win all the trophies and all the titles, I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing going into a postseason where they're probably going to have to hit the road, right, if they win the first round?
Probably.
So,
particularly with that loss today.
Yeah, just to get, catch your legs after a tough, grueling Big Ten conference grind and all of that, and you can work on extra film and get your bodies right going into hopefully watch the deep run in the NCAA tournament.
All right, Cole had this in the ticker as well. The 2024 Husker football schedule is out. We knew who the teams were. We didn't know the order, the way it got stacked. I did not know they were going to have 2 bye weeks. Kind of like that, although that I prefer 1, but 2's fine, and I like where they come. They come about halfway through, like it did this year, week 6, and then another one in early November to kind of get you ready for the stretch run of the season. But, boy, you like the way it lines up with a lot of home games early, unlike this year where we open with back-to-back roadies. We finally have a home conference opener with Illinois coming here on the 21st of September. And speaking for my sideline reporter, you probably like going to Southern California in November.
I do like that a lot. I'm a big fan of that. I already texted. I have family that live out in California. They already want tickets. They already are asking for tickets. So I know that Nebraska fans will have a lot of fans that will travel there, but I know of at least probably 4 that will be there in California. But I'm excited. I mean, I think that'll be a great trip. And when you had talked about this, I think the last week or so when they had announced just the opponents of allowing athletes a chance to go on the road and experience all of the different venues and to mix it up. And, I think that'll be fun. That'll be a chance. And also when you talk about recruiting and being, nationwide and having that opportunity. And there's a lot of Husker fans out there on the West Coast. So it should be, I'm certainly though, but in November, can't complain about that at all.
The way it's set up, we'll go to UCLA in 25. So we'll be in LA back-to-back years, USC next year, UCLA in 25. We don't have the date of the game in 25. That they haven't got to that point yet. But Illinois at home, Rutgers at home, UCLA at home, Wisconsin at home. It's a year where Nebraska is going to only get 4 home conference games, 5 on the road. Thus, all three non-cons are at home with UTEP, Colorado, and Northern Iowa. And so then it's back to Purdue at the end of September. Go to Indiana for only the second time since Nebraska became a Big Ten member. It's been wacky how we've not played the Hoosiers in Bloomington, but only one time. So we'll go there October the 19th, back to the Horseshoe on the 26th to take on Ohio State, and then at SC November 16th, and then finish with the Black Friday game with the Iowa Hawkeyes on the 29th. There's no doubt, Jessica, it's a backloaded schedule. The toughies are kind of toward the end. No disrespect to Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers, those teams, but Ohio State is a nationally ranked team. UCLA is nationally ranked right now. SC has been. Don't think they are right now. And then Wisconsin and Iowa, we know those are toughies. So just the quick snapshot is backloaded, but a great opportunity maybe to get off to a fast start.
Is that going to stay pretty normal, too, to have Wisconsin at the end of the schedule? Because it was last year, right, wasn't it the last two?
It
and
was.
Then
They're not a guaranteed game every year, though. So they'll come on and off the schedule. Iowa's the only one that we'll keep every year on the schedule.
And then 2 years ago, I wasn't sure because 2 years ago it was at the end of the schedule, too.
It was.
So it's just to be kind of.
It's kind of been that way for the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was something like that they try to do or what, or why they've been at the back end of the schedule where you've got that Wisconsin, Iowa back to back. But yeah, you got to love the way that it sets up for Nebraska, and guarantee you it will be 1 week at a time, no matter what. You know,
Exactly
it'll
right.
be 1 week at a time. But you, as a fan, and as us observing this and wanting to break it down, and you got to love the way that's, especially compared to the way it's been the 3 years that I've been here. It's just not been very conducive to how you want to start a season, especially with a new coaching staff. But it has not been very friendly to the Huskers, and then not even having games at home for a while. It took forever for us to even be at home, it felt like. So just to have those 4 in a row at home to open up the season, that is a nice luxury.
Huge.
Yeah.
And we don't travel to the end of September. First road trip for Husker football next year. You can, again, go check out the schedule if you want to get some dates and schedule some weddings and parties and all those type of things at Huskers.com if you want to get it all locked in. But that was fun today. A lot of buzz. Boy, you can go around the league and just look at everybody's schedule and go, whew, man, those are tough. So if you have some thoughts about the schedule, love to hear them. 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Let's head to the phone line. Let's go to Columbus and hear from Jim. Good evening, Jim. Welcome to the program.
Well, hi, Greg, Jessica. Yeah, I don't have a prediction or I don't have a prediction or a comment or anything, but I texted me last week about this show on YouTube. GBR Rewind or Rewind, and I watched it last week, and I thought, well, this is a really good show. So he texted me last night, and he said, are you watching episode 5? And I said, no, but I'll pull it up. And so I started watching that, and I mean, you can get a feel for what Coach Rhule is. I don't think any coach has done for 20-some years, and why it's going to be a success. And I just wanted to, especially the last 4 minutes or so, when he was asking the team where they get their fight from. And it's just amazing. His presence, I could feel his presence come right through the TV. And it just was amazing. And, but it's called, episode 5 is on right now, but it's on YouTube. But I just recommend it for all the listeners out there if they haven't watched it, because it'll show you why this program's going to be a success with him. And I know I had to search for it. I just went to Nebraska Huskers football, and it came up. It's episode 5, but it's a must watch. It just. It's just amazing.
Good.
What he's doing. So I don't know if you ever mentioned it on the show or not, but I thought I'd just put it out there for the fans out there if they want to pull that up and watch it.
Jim, I'm
That's
glad.
all I have to say.
All right, appreciate it, Jim. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, those people do the football social media team. They put a lot of work into putting those out. I know Husker fans have really enjoyed kind of getting a peek behind the curtain of that program. They're very, very well done.
Yeah, Jordan Litton is a guy that is the mastermind behind all that. He's got a team of people, too, that really help him put together. They are so talented. And Mike Wallace, you've heard Coach Rhule mention his name before. He's a lot of time will be the idea guy and throw things out there. But it's, I think it was really important for this staff to be able to show, hey, this, because they were coming from the NFL, and when you were talking about recruiting, and yeah, you can come for a visit, but to be pretty transparent of, hey, this is how we're going to have the program. And Coach Rhule said, I don't know if we'll do this moving forward after this year. Who knows? They may or may not. But I think especially for this first season, to give a peek behind the curtain for fans, but also for those recruits that might be looking at coming to play here. Hey, here's actually what it's like. And even going back to the summer, they showed a lot of the things that they did to build the culture. I can't tell you how many times I sit down to do, I talked to Mekhi Bayer this week, Isaac Gifford last week. It's almost every week, unsolicited. I'll bring something up, and it goes back to the culture and the brotherhood that they were establishing over the summer with Gus Felder and some of those things that they did with the player development guys and volunteering, and how you couldn't sit next to people in your position group. And when you're going to do things, you split up and so it could be cliquey, and that's kind of how a football team can be, right? You're cliquey with your position groups. But this staff has been really strategic about making sure that they are breaking that up, and your teammates and everything they're doing, it's guys from different position groups so that you can get to know them better. And Mekhi brought this up. He said, yeah, and then you're not just going out on the football field just to play football for a football team. You're going out there to play with your brothers, and it makes you want to play a lot harder and not let the person down next to you when you know them on a different level than what you just as a teammate, right? And so I think that also, even just from the start, how they've been really transparent about, hey, this is what we're going to do to build this culture. I think it's been critical for us to understand what the program's about, but also for those recruits that are maybe looking at coming here. Hey, I want to come be a part of that.
Derek and Holdridge on our text line said, I completely agree about the GB Rewind. That speech at the end of episode 5 was amazing. It really was. And so I'd encourage all Husker fans, go back. You can see them all. They're all up there on the YouTube channel. You can go see those. Let's stay in Lincoln and chat next with Paul. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, guys. The staff has been real good about keeping those red shirts on all season long here, but we only got 4 games left, and that means you can play them as much as you want.
That's exactly right. Guys like Sam Sledge, Gunnar Gatula can now play every game to the end of the year and not lose their red shirt. I think there's like 6 that have been burned, but they needed those 6 to play, and they've all played a lot. So the ones that they've chosen to play are certainly getting a lot of snaps.
Do we think that some of these red shirts are going to get significant and meaningful playing time?
The 6?
The ones that have just the 4 left here.
Yeah, well, the ones that have not played, you mean? I'm losing you a little bit.
Yeah, the ones that haven't played.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how much Gunnar. I don't know how much some of those offensive linemen will get in. I mean, I think that would be a need basis if somebody gets hurt. They're not going to risk losing a game just to get a guy some snaps. They're going to play every week to try to win. And if a situation arises, they can slip somebody in for a play or two. Yeah, you could do that. But I mean, particularly those offensive linemen, I don't know that you play them unless you absolutely have to.
One player that is that on that conversation is Marquise Buford, because he didn't have a red shirt. So he came in and played as a true freshman, so he can still use this year as a red shirt year. And as much guys as they run in and out on defense, I bet he sees significant playing time these next 4 games just to get him ready and going. And he's proven that he's capable of it. So just to get him out there, he's probably a guy that I think we see a lot of. And I don't know, maybe some of the skill guys you see a little bit more of. But, I'm not sure about the offensive linemen unless you get an opportunity to run them out there.
Right.
Maybe in the big packages that with some of the guys, with Teddy having to move in to play left tackle and that big personnel package. Normally Teddy was a part of that. Maybe you run in some of those freshmen to get some experience at that. But I'm not sure that they will play those offensive linemen unless they have to.
Yeah. Appreciate the call, Paul. He dialed us up on our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. Woodhouse is your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400. We're back with our practice report, some clips from Coach Rhule's press conference from earlier today. We'll have that for you next.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdowns-for-teachers.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 11th and November 3rd and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 24th in Lincoln, plus pregame tailgate. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter. And you may win this season.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
In 1923, Bert R. Benjamin had a vision, an all-purpose tractor that could do more. With that, the Farmall was born. This year, Case IH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall, 100 years of milestones, 100 years of innovation, passion, grit. And they're doing it through your stories. Share them at farmall100.com. One lucky storyteller will win their own Farmall, the tractor that is the one for all.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
There's room at the table and more dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From white corn to blue corn to organics, find the right fit for your operation. Now, for a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract a minimum of 50,000 bushels of value-added grain. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
There's no community like a Cenex community. And that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
We are back inside our Acres broadcast center. Acres is the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Mark had a great observation on the schedule, and it deals with how many Saturdays are from the 1st of September to the end of November, and it's kind of like a leap year thing. It happens every 4 or 5 years. If there's enough, you get a double bye week. So that's why there are 2 bye weeks next year for everybody. And the Huskers have had double bye weeks when they've played week 0, like in Ireland 2 years last year. We're not playing week 0 next year, but the number of Saturdays between September and November allows 2 bye weeks. So there you go. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. I remember that, something about that. That's good.
Makes
All right.
sense. Because I do remember there a couple of times where there were multiple bye weeks.
All right. Cole says time for a practice report.
The 1890 Initiative presents the Nebraska Football Practice Report.
We're talking about practice.
Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com.
And the head coach met with the media today, as he does every Thursday prior to a football Saturday game. And he was asked right out of the gate, how's Marquise Buford been doing? The plan, I think, all along with Marquise coming off of an injury from last year was to play him 4 games. And as Jessica detailed in the last segment, he didn't redshirt. He played as a true freshman here for the Huskers, so he could still play 4 games, help this football team, and still be a sophomore eligibility-wise. What's the plan? Here's the coach.
We'll travel him. He'll be ready to go. What that role looks like, you have the volume, I can't say right now. I think a lot of it will depend on the game. But he's cleared, so he's ready to go. So I was really pleased. He practiced Tuesday, practiced Wednesday. Obviously he won't start. We'll play with the guys who've been playing, but he's ready to go in there.
I mean, how about that, getting some depth like that mid-season? And he started almost every game last year until he did start every game, right? Until he got hurt, yeah?
Yeah.
So, just a proven guy that brings a lot of energy, is a great teammate. It's infectious. So he hasn't traveled yet either, from my understanding, right? Because he hadn't, right. So just even get him on the sideline, I think he's just at home games. He's all over the place and he's having so much fun, and he's just such a team guy. He's got an infectious personality. And so even just to be able to have him on the sideline, however much he plays, but just to have his presence, I think will be big.
So that's really big news. Also, Billy Kemp is going to travel. Not sure if he can play yet, but he's close. That's encouraging, too, just to get Billy, his experience out there. They can do a lot of different things with Billy Kemp. That'd be a huge bonus if you got him on the field Saturday. My guess is he's probably a week away, but at least he's going. Yeah,
and again, another one that you don't want to push at this point, although I don't think you noticed as big of a – I mean, I know that a lot of the game plan was built around him the week that he got hurt, but I thought the offense moved well without him. I thought obviously the area that you really missed his presence was in special teams and punt return. So that's the big area that you really hope to get him back on, but just overall having a veteran guy like that, and just for him to be able to travel, should see the amount of times that he's coaching up those freshman wide receivers and trying to stay in their ear and what he's seeing, and so just to be able to have him also on the sideline, because a lot of times those hurt guys don't travel, so for him to just still be able to travel even despite maybe being questionable if he'll play, I think is just big for those freshman wide receivers, especially when Garrett McGuire's in the booth.
Right. Garrett moved up there a couple games ago, and now you've got the OC up there as well, Marcus Satterfield, who did confirm with us the other night he'll be back up in the box on Saturday. Tommy Hill, coming off a big game, a couple of picks last week for the Cornhuskers. The coach was asked about how proud of Tommy Hill is he.
Yeah, I'm very proud of Tommy. I think the credit goes to him. I think the credit goes to Coop. Credit goes to a lot of people in the organization who've worked with him. But really, I think he's a fantastic football player, and he was well on his way to this in camp and got banged up. But you think about, in today's day and age, a guy who's willing to switch midseason to go over and play a receiver part-time, then go over and play full-time, and then injuries happen. He and I even had a conversation, hey, should he redshirt? And I said, I think it was whatever game it was, I said, hey, let's play this game and we'll talk about it on Monday. And we both felt like let's play it out. And then now he's hitting his stride. But he practices that way. He plays that way. He's just got the intensity of a lion. He caught that punt last week as one of the corners. You normally don't want your guys doing that, but it's not like he's trying to showboat or anything. He just sees the ball and he plays football all the time. So if there's a job that needs done, I think Tommy's one of those guys. Hey, Tommy, would you mind going to do this? And he'll always get it done.
He's such a competitor, and I think that's one thing. Despite some of the things that might have happened, he wants to do whatever he can to help his team win. And I even go back to last year, seeing him on the sideline when he was moved over to wide receiver, but just wanted so badly to make a big play on special teams, whatever he can do. He just wants to be out there all the time. He's just, and he's another great teammate. I mean, you saw the way he celebrated Quentin Newsome when Quentin Newsome makes the big plays.
That was a no-no.
But he's just, you can tell how much he's liked, not just by this coaching staff, but also by this team too. And it's because he's willing to do anything and everything, whatever he needs to do. You want to move me to wide receiver? All right, I'll do it. You want me to, try to take a punt return back to the house? All right, I'll do it. You want me to go back to defense? All right, I'll do it. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it.
That was the #1 film on replay for the team, was them high-fiving.
I liked it.
We don't do.
I'm all for it.
So did Julie Rhule. She liked it too, but the coaches,
I thought it was great. I mean, it was clearly there. But Searles, I'll tell you somebody who didn't like it was Jeremiah Searles.
He didn't like it. I think you can get penalized for that. Excessive celebration. So at least it didn't happen. Okay, ball security. We all know it's been an issue. Nebraska, one of the worst teams in the country in the number of turnovers, the number of fumbles that they have had. Have they worked on it this week? Here's the coach.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we I hate to say this because it's embarrassing to say, but we coached it better. We sat down as a staff on Sunday and went through every single fumble, why they're happening, what are the commonality. A lot of them have been on, just the center quarterback exchange, and but why they're happening, what can we do better, and then we just created drills based upon our body of work to help us. And so we do ball security every day, but the results weren't showing that we do ball security every day. So to me, you don't change, you do things better. But if you do things better and it's still not showing up, then you have to change something. So we just changed the impact of the way the drills that we're doing. And I hope it shows up this Saturday. Sometimes they don't show up right away. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks. But I feel good about our process this week, that we really put our guys in a position to be successful. Because if we're having this many fumbles, if we're leading the nation in fumbles, then I as the head coach, am not doing my job, because no one wants to fumble. They're not careless fumbles. So we have to improve that.
I thought it's pretty interesting that they said that they went back and looked at every single fumble and what do we got to do. And Emmett Johnson made a comment last week in the post-game interview with me that said, yeah, I mean, the coaches can tell us that and coach us up, but at some point we've got to be better as players. We have to be better. We have to take better care of the football. And so, I know it's been an issue all year, and nobody's more frustrated than those players. But at some point, you've got to make the plays on the field. You've got to be better, right? As much as it's been an issue, and you've been fortunate that you've had so many turnovers and still been able to win games and be in the position that you're in right now. But certainly you can't continue to do that and expect to win football games.
And they know that.
Yeah, they do. They do know that. Yeah, absolutely.
They almost feel like they're stealing a little bit right now.
It's almost like, when you keep having the conversation about the serving with volleyball. It's like the same thing, we're having it every week, and they're working on everything. I know it's not very comparable, but more so the conversation that we're having every week, and they know it and they want to fix it and they don't want it to be like that, but yet it continues to happen. So I know that they're trying everything to try to figure it out. So we'll see how that comes to fruition this week or in the next couple of weeks. But I know that it's something. It's not like they're turning the ball over and then, oh, whoops, my bad, and then not changing anything or trying to fix it. They're certainly trying to fix it.
All right, we'll leave you with this. Huskers about to play a 2-6 Spartan team that has lost their last 6 games. And so, but you turn on the tape and you're kind of going, man, they don't look like they're a bad football team. Here's the coach. He'll tell you they've got respect for Sparty.
Yeah, this is a good football team with really good players that's been stuck in some adverse situations. I mean, they played the number 8 team in the country. They played the number 2 team in the country, and they were, I think they were told like 3 days ahead of time, like, you have to probably change all your signals before the game. So I mean, I don't even know how I can count that against them. They were beating Iowa in the fourth quarter. They were beating Rutgers in the fourth quarter. It was a 3-point game in the fourth quarter against Minnesota. I mean, this is, this is kind of who we are. It was a 4-point game in the fourth quarter. It was a 7-point game in the fourth quarter for us in some games. I mean, they fight, they battle. They've got excellent players. Carter is as good a back as we'll see all year long. The personnel on defense, outstanding. I mean, number 8, as dynamic a D tackle as you'll see in the league. Edge pass rusher. So they have really good players, really good coaches. They're playing for each other, and I have a lot of respect for them.
I mean, you can't deny the way that they've fought despite the outcomes of their games and where they've been in games against some teams. And, if you go back and listen to the Sideline Slice with Searles, he mentioned that. He said those guys, they've got a couple guys on the defensive line that are really good, that are NFL-type players.
They are.
And so when you're talking about a offensive line, did he talk about Nuri today? I missed that.
Nuri is doing better.
Okay.
Not going to play this week, but doing better.
But so you still have those 3 guys that are still new to starting on the offensive line, and it's a lot different doing that on the road than it is at home, and so it will be a challenge. It's certainly just, you don't look at just the record and be like, oh, that's a guarantee win. They're going to fight. Obviously, they've proven it week in, week out that they're going to fight, and they've got some good players.
Well, and those 3 that started last week for Nebraska on the offensive line, there's now more tape on them. And so I'm sure Michigan State's going, all right, what can we They're all coaches. They're all on scholarship. I mean, you're going to get everybody's best every week, so it should be a heck of a game on Saturday. That is our practice report. We'll step aside, 402-413-2400 if you want to be a part of the program. Back with more of the show next.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option. It's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rhule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska. Both farmers and Division I athletes are alike in that every year, every season presents a new opportunity. That is nothing new. Aurora Cooperative does what they always do, embrace new opportunities. They focus on their roots and continue to stand strong with their farmer owners. These core beliefs are much like those of committed Husker athletes. Aurora Cooperatives relies on their value of a strong work ethic to get any job done for their producers. When you choose Aurora Cooperative, you're choosing a winning team that's dedicated to the success of our local farmers. Go Big Red and go Aurora Cooperative.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975, and now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Knottle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Knottle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Knottle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we prioritize our customers and promise an honest experience from start to finish. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and experience for yourself why we are Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Folks, buckle up with the phone now. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Thursday night. It's our last full show of the week. We'll have tomorrow night just a 30-minute show ahead of Husker volleyball as they have they're flying right now. They've headed off to Penn State to take on the Nittany Lions tomorrow night. 7:30 first serve, 6:30 for pregame coverage. We just have 30 minutes tomorrow night here on the program. It came out today that Tony Petitti, the Big Ten commissioner, did have a conference call with the head football coaches in the league on yesterday, and Jim Harbaugh was asked to excuse himself from the call, and the coaches voiced their opinions and thoughts about the video scandal with the Wolverines taping team sidelines, buying tickets to opposing team stadiums, totally against the rules. And according to several reports, Bruce Feldman, some of the other people, Pete Thamel, who covered this on the national scene, it got pretty heated, and Tony Petitti didn't tip his hand, listened to a lot of the coaches complain about this, saying a lot of people are hot about this, and I get that. I mean, if you can decipher a code of a team and you can let your defense know it's a pass play or it's a run play, that's a big advantage you have.
Yeah, the more that keeps coming out, the more damning it looks for
Agreed.
Michigan. And, you know, it was one thing just, hey, they got a couple play calls, but to see just the overall scheme and the everything that went into it. I mean, it was an orchestrated scheme that that reached out and had a lot of people involved, and a lot of people, there's no way that people at the top didn't have knowledge of it with how far it stretched, and they weren't even trying to hide it either. And so, and it just keeps, like, the reports and the photos that are coming out now, it's mind-blowing that it went this long. But then, it's definitely a bigger issue, I think, even than what we initially thought when it first came out. But when you're talking about games coming down to 1 or 2 plays and the other team knowing your entire playbook, they've got an advantage. There's no doubt about it. And they have to be punished for it.
I agree. And I think Tony Petitti could get in there and say, we're disqualifying you from playing in our league title game. We'll let the college football playoff decide what they want to do with you, but we're going to keep you from playing if they qualify and win the East. Now, Joel Klatt doesn't like that at all. Joel Klatt thinks you need to do a full investigation, do the whole process before you level any kind of charges. I don't know. I think you punish the people that are there, because who knows? Jim Harbaugh might be gone. And so then you're going to punish Michigan down the road when Jim Harbaugh, the guy that did all this, is gone? I don't agree with that.
That's the thing. We just had this conversation about Kansas basketball, about, how you wait to punish and then they don't get punished. And the guys that do end up getting punished are players that weren't even a part of it. Oklahoma State, the same thing. Those players got punished that had nothing to do with some of it. And so, okay, so we're going to do exactly what we've done all along and just wait a couple years and punish the players that are there while that whole coaching staff has jobs in the NFL or wherever else. It's not really fair. I mean, and the players, these players were a part of it. They obviously knew.
And this entire staff was a part
of it. The players knew. They know. They're being told the play calls that are coming in.
Right.
So, I think the whole program should be punished. There's no doubt about it. And look, do you still have to go beat them? Yeah, but were there games that it didn't matter if they had the play calls or not? Yeah, but there were that it did matter. There's no doubt in my mind at that point. And we had a conversation with Jeremiah, when we were recording a podcast a couple weeks ago off air. We didn't include it in the podcast, but just hearing what his take on it was and how you can, figure that out. There is definitely an advantage to what they were doing, and it's just, you can't allow that to keep going on and for them to go skate by again.
I agree.
When there's also been other issues that they've also just gotten dealt with over the summer.
I think a lot of Joel Klatt, but I'm on the other side of this issue now. I think there's enough there to prove that they've done it.
Yeah.
And so I think there's enough to go ahead and penalize them right now and affect the people that did the whole thing.
And it's a lot of the conference teams that were affected by this. So, hey, nope, you're not playing in the Big Ten conference game, but it's college football playoff, so once they put you in, go for it.
Go for it, exactly. Folks, get out and visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and November the 3rd. That's tomorrow. To get yourself entered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game. On Black Friday here in Lincoln, we'll throw in some pregame tailgate passes. Go see True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City. Osceola Implement and Kearney Equipment to enter, and you may be a winner this season. We're back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 11th and November 3rd and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 24th in Lincoln, plus pregame tailgate. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter. And you may win this season.
This statement has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When it comes to my lifestyle and diet, I don't always make the smartest choices.
Touchdown! Woo! Hey, how about another round and some more chips?
But when it comes to taking care of my liver, I do make one very smart choice. Active liver tablets from New Nordic. I used to have real issues with my liver, and at my last checkup, my doc was concerned about my numbers. But since adding a once-a-day active liver tablet, my gut's better, I feel great, and my doctor's happy. I ask a lot of my liver, so the least I can do to say thanks is a daily dose of Active Liver.
Active Liver is one of many award-winning health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at Amazon.com or for a volume discount, visit NewNordicUSA.com. Available as a tablet or delicious sugar-free gummy. Protect and help your liver the easy and effective way with Active Liver at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing. Or even classic car muscle. Every Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Boy, do we have an hour or two lined up for you. Jessica loves the month of November because it's the crossover month. We're going to talk basketball. We're going to talk wrestling. Looking forward to it. Fred Hoiberg will be here to talk about their opener, which is Monday night against Lindenwood. The women open against Northwestern State at noon at PBA on Monday. So Monday's the first day you can play a college basketball game. It's kind of like the opening night for college basketball. So all day Monday you'll be having games. And Husker wrestling opens in 2 days. They head to Fargo to take on North Dakota State. Mark Manning, everybody's favorite, right? He's going to be here next hour.
Yes, Husker wrestling. Husker wrestling.
They're going to be good.
I know, and
I remember the name Ridge Lovett? Remember that name?
Yeah, I think I remember that name. What a smart move for them last year. I mean, at the time we were thinking, what are you doing? But then they end up having several All-Americans, get him, because he was another one of those guys that didn't redshirt, which is kind of crazy with wrestling, to not redshirt. And so get him stronger, bigger and stronger, and then you get everybody else back. Peyton Robb, I guess you got an update on him.
Yep.
Unbelievable. And they got a couple transfers, so this could be a big year for Husker wrestling.
Think about that part of the lineup. Brock Hardy, 141. Ridge Lovett, 149. Peyton Robb, 157. I'm not sure anybody in the country has a better three right there.
Yeah, that's a pretty daunting back-to-back-to-back for teams, that's
really
for sure.
Stuff. We'll get an update from Coach Hoiberg, too, about all the injuries that have hit that basketball team as we're getting close to the start of the college basketball season. Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. What a fast, fun first hour. But we're not done. Then our 60 minutes, talk some hoops, we'll talk some wrestling, and hey, got Cole's joke coming your way next hour. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
Good evening. I'm Cole Hartman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. With 4 games to go in the regular season, head football coach Matt Rhule met with the media one last time before the departure to East Lansing after spending 5 of the last 6 Saturdays in Lincoln. The coach was asked what he thinks of the road games, and here's what he had to say.
I love going on the road. I get to sleep. I sleep on the plane. I usually try to get to the hotel and sleep unless Keith has media for me. And, I love being in the hotel. I love being with the guys, coaches. I like going to the movie with. We do that at home, obviously, too. But and I love walking into another team stadium, especially a place like Michigan State, a place that I respect. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch these guys go play. And it should be, like I said, I expect this to be a great football game with 2 physical, blue-collar, tough teams. And I love playing at 11 a.m. So, I like to wake up and play. So I'm really excited to see the guys and see what they can do.
And keeping with Husker football, the Big Ten announced the 2024 conference schedule, the first season without divisions in the new 18-team conference. Nebraska will host 4 teams in Lincoln next fall, and that is Illinois, Rutgers, UCLA, and Wisconsin. 5 conference contests will be decided on the road at Purdue, Indiana, Ohio State, USC, and Iowa. Full details on the schedule and tickets for next fall can be found on Huskers.com. Husker soccer has been up in Columbus, Ohio, battling in the Big Ten championships this week. Earlier tonight, Nebraska fell in their semifinal matchup with the Badgers by a score of 3-1. The next step for the team is to await the selections of the NCAA tournament. And finally, Prime Video hosts Week 9 of Thursday Night Football tonight. The 3-4 Titans travel to Pittsburgh to battle the 4-3 Steelers. That one gets underway at 7:15 Central. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student-athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Hoiberg under center. Fleeks is the deep back. Wide receivers left and right. Turn. Back to throw. A play action look. Hoiberg going to take a shot downfield. Has a man wide open. Malachi Coleman makes the catch. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Cats outside center. Nebraska. Peyton Norris. Kaboom. Oh, waking babies all over Evanston. Wow. Emphatic.
Now back to the near side comes A.J. Hennig. Sullivan gets the snap, back to throw, pumps, gets rushed, gets hit, throws down. Then a sack. Pulled down again by Nash. His second sack of the game, all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Could this be the match? And here's the call. Net violation return. Nebraska defeats Wisconsin. They did it. Call the grandkids. Nebraska takes down mighty Wisconsin. A second deuce game, and they love it in Lincoln.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back, Sports Nightly, hour number 2 here on our Thursday night show. As we get into crossover season, we're going to talk some basketball right away with Coach Hoiberg and then head wrestling coach Mark Manning here later on in the hour. It's kind of like the Hendricks Complex hour of Sports Nightly. But first, we start with talking some basketball with the head coach. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Greg?
You're feeling okay.
I feel good, yeah. Yeah, I got a little, when the weather changes, we all get a little something. But, yeah, I feel fine.
You do. Before we get into your team and all that stuff, the college basketball world, big news yesterday was the passing of Bob Knight. Legendary head coach. What did he mean to college basketball in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he meant a lot, and I was very fortunate. I got to know Coach a little bit. He used to come to Ames every year where I grew up, and I was coaching at Iowa State, and he did a lot with Championship Productions, which is a video company. They do instructional videos, and Coach Knight was one of their biggest advocates. So he came to Ames, and they did an auction. He was a big hunter. So he came, and we had dinner, and it went till about 2 in the morning. He told stories literally till about 2 in the morning, and then he was going up to South Dakota the next day to pheasant hunt. So just to be able to spend time with him and to listen to his stories, and I've spoken at a couple clinics with him as well, just obviously a larger-than-life figure. And you saw his no-nonsense approach, his accountability out there on the court. And that led to a lot of winning. And, winning 3 national championships, I think playing in 5 Final Fours, 10 Big Ten championships. He just did so many good things. And I'm actually a good friend of his son, Pat, who was coaching at Texas Tech when I was at Iowa State. He's now a scout with the Indiana Pacers and have stayed in touch with him. So, yeah, sad day for sure, but, a guy that meant a lot to a lot of people.
Was he at Indiana when you played for the Pacers?
He would have been, at Indiana, sure. Yep, he would have been there. I remember a game where Indiana played at Iowa State, and I was a ball boy for it. Johnny Orr was a coach at Iowa State. Bobby came out, and I'll never forget this. At halftime, he came out and sat next to Coach Orr for about 5 minutes before the second half started, and they were just down there talking and joking and laughing. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, it was pretty cool to see him at a young age in Hilton Coliseum, and to see he and Coach Orr battling, because they had some big rival games. They played in the national championship game, actually, when Coach Orr was at Michigan, and Bobby Knight, I think that was their undefeated season when he won the national championship there. But yeah, it was pretty cool to sit and listen to his story. I just was a sponge. I didn't say much that night, just listened as he told his stories into the morning hours.
Very good. All right, Sunday's game with Doane. You were missing a bunch of players. Give us the update. What's the health of this team?
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting guys back. We had practice yesterday. Today was an off day for us, and we had a couple guys back in limited roles in non-contact. So Josiah was back, pretty much all non-contact. Rink was back. He did a little bit of contact, but most of his work yesterday was non-contact. He responded well to it. That's important. It's an important part of the process as he recovers. Casey, with his ankle, he's going to be a little while. He was actually in a little better shape the day after the sprain. You know a lot the day after, not so much during. You saw how severe that thing was, how it turned almost all the way over. There was a picture out there that we all saw on it, but he was out of the boot pretty quickly. He was in a boot the next day and then out of it the following, and walking pretty much without a limp. So he's hopefully going to be a quick healer. People recover so differently with ankle sprains. We're not going to rush him back. This is a long season, and we're not going to push him to where this becomes something more serious down the line. But we'll have more of an update on him as we get closer to the opener on Monday. So we're getting there. It was good to have those guys. We do have a little bit of an illness going through the team. We've had 5 guys that have tested positive for strep throat, and most of them have had very mild symptoms. So you get them on antibiotics for 24 hours, and then they can resume full activity. So hopefully we'll have a full team tomorrow and get those guys back healthy today, and hopefully back on the court tomorrow.
Without those guys Sunday against Doane, what did you get out of it?
Well, it's such a great opportunity for guys to get extended minutes that may not have gotten those, and put Sam into a starting role. I thought Sam was really good. He had 7 deflections in the first 5 minutes of that game, and really helped us get some easy baskets when the shots weren't falling from behind the arc. Eli Rice took advantage of extended minutes and led us in scoring that game, and he's a kid that has so much talent, so much natural ability, and just continue to teach him the game and understanding, both ends of the floor, because it is an adjustment for all freshmen. Matar, who was the first one to come down with the illness, did not play in the game against Doane. It would have been great for him to get out there to have first experience. He was going to start for us that night, and we hope to have him back in practice tomorrow. But yeah, overall, I was really pleased with the effort, Greg. Shots weren't falling very well. I thought we settled a little bit early, but once we calmed down, settled down, we got out in transition and really finished that second half well.
A lot of people left the building buzzing about Boogie, the way he played in that game for you.
Yeah, I thought, especially in the second half, we started Boogie in the second half when Casey went out, and you can just see him getting more comfortable. He was phenomenal in practice yesterday, and he just he's got a great overall presence about him, and he's got a ton of experience. He's played at the high major level at Missouri, where he played for a year. Obviously played very well and put up big numbers at Ball State last year, but he's a calming presence out on the court. He could play multiple positions. He and Jamarcus, I thought, played very well off of each other. I thought Jamarcus's pace was outstanding in the game the other day, but when you have 2 guys that can handle the ball, really without a true natural point guard out there, it helps. So having 2, combo guards out there on the floor together, I like the look of that.
How's C.J. Wilcher been for you in practice?
He's been good. He's had a really good preseason. I thought he played very well in our trip over in Spain. He's a guy that has shot the ball at a very high clip in the preseason and helped us win a lot of games at the end of last season. The game at Rutgers where he had 24 points, the game at Iowa where he hit 4 threes, including a couple of huge ones down the stretch and helping us close out that game. And he's got, again, another guy with a lot of experience. And that's one thing about this team, Greg. When you look at our group, we have 9 guys that have 4 years or more experience in college basketball. That means a lot. That matters when you have guys that are battle-tested. If you go through a tough stretch, if you have a bad game, you bounce back generally better when you have a veteran group of guys, especially a group that cares for each other. And that's the other thing with this team I've been really impressed with is the chemistry they've built, started in Spain, and have carried that over since we've gotten back here. Bryce Williams is fitting in very well with this group as well as another new addition to this team. So, just need to continue to go out there and battle and grow and get better and hopefully get off to a great start on Monday.
We're talking Husker basketball with head coach Fred Hoiberg. Are you closer to where you want to be offensively or defensively getting ready for the Open?
Oh, it's a great question. It depends on the day, I guess.
Yeah.
We had some really good moments offensively against Utah, maybe not as good defensively, but we learned from it. Our guys came back and they worked on the things that we needed to get better at, and I thought we carried that over into the exhibition where I thought we were better on the defensive end. For me, the constant has to be defensively. You have to be able to go out there, limit easy baskets, and more than anything, control the glass. This team that we're playing on Monday is a very physical team. They've got size pretty much across the board, and they have great physicalities. We got one of their scrimmages, and, they were relentless on the offensive glass. So if you can limit easy baskets, take care of the basketball to take away pick 6 baskets, and rebound the ball and finish off possessions, you're going to have a chance to be a pretty good team.
All right, Lindenwood making that transition, aren't they, from D2 to D1? What do you know about your opponent on Monday?
Yeah, shoot the ball very well. Their 4-man is a really good player. Shot 46% from 3 a year ago, 6'7", 6'8", has really good size. He's bouncy, and they brought in a couple players this year that have very good athleticism and size. Their big guy, like I said, he's extremely hard playing, gets out, very aggressive on ball screens, and he goes after every ball. So, it's a team that'll be a very good test for us. And, we haven't played an opponent like them with Utah, being bigger, probably a little bit more methodical. And then obviously Doane. This team has size and athleticism. So, yeah, we're gonna get tested. Transition, they'll be the fastest team that we have played so far. So we have to be good in our transition rules. And again, the big thing is getting off to a good start, Greg. And, we've got 19 chances this year at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and hopefully get the crowd behind us early. PBA last year, the last month of the season, was as good as any arena in college basketball. So need to get the fans behind us early, and hopefully we'll do that on Monday.
And I know they're excited about it as well. I know you and Coach Izzo are trying to get a little wager on Saturday's football game.
Yeah, man. Well, me and my son Jack, that's his alma mater. So, yeah, but no, it's I'm excited. I love what Coach Rhule's doing. It's been so much fun seeing this team and how they've grown and stayed together. Talk about a defensive mindset. I mean, every snap, they are going after the ball, the physicality that defense is playing with. Offense, was great to see the offense get it going, in the last game as well. But I just love how they're playing, competing. It's such a great time right now with Coach Walker and what he's done with the soccer team, and competing for a Big Ten championship after winning a share of the regular season. And then, Coach Cook, 2 of the most exciting sporting events I've seen is the volleyball day in Nebraska, in Memorial Stadium, and then that Wisconsin game at home was just an epic battle. So, yeah, it's a fun time to be a Husker right now.
Football's taking a page out of your playbook because you had to replace all those guys injured last year. They're having to do the same thing. You have to. That's coaching. You got to figure it out.
Well, you do, and you obviously have to adjust how you're going to play. And you lose 3 starting offensive linemen, and you go out there and you don't skip a beat. And I thought that team played awesome. With their physicality, winning the line of scrimmage, I thought, on both ends of the ball on last Saturday. And it's what we had to do. When you really almost have 3 different teams to coach, with Derek Walker being out early and then getting that starting group together and having a lot of success with that and beating some really quality teams at Creighton and Iowa, several others, a couple ACC teams in there as well. And then you lose 2 starters and you have to flip the way you're going to play again. Casey really didn't become a go-to guy until those 2 guys got hurt last year, and then you saw the finish he had. Jamarcus goes from being in and out of the rotation to a starter. Sam goes from being on the scout team to being a guy that we couldn't keep off the floor at the end of games. And it's what you have to do. But when you have a strong culture, which I know Coach Rhule has built, which I know our guys did a great job of building last year, that's what helps you fight through adversity. And that's what I'm most proud of our group last year, is how they handled all that.
Should be. All right, I'm ready. Let's hit this. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you, Greg.
Fred Hoiberg with us here on Sports Audio. Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. More Sports Audio coming up.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town, choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40, or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1, and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
In 1923, Bert R. Benjamin had a vision, an all-purpose tractor that could do more. With that, the Farmall was born. This year, Case IH is celebrating 100 years of Farmall, 100 years of milestones, 100 years of innovation, passion, grit. And they're doing it through your stories. Share them at farmall100.com. One lucky storyteller will win their own Farmall, the tractor that is the one for all.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs' features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
There's room at the table. Add more dollars to every acre by incorporating value-added grain into your operation with Central Valley Ag. From white corn to blue corn to organics, find the right fit for your operation. Now, for a limited time, enter to win a $10,000 bonus when you contract a minimum of 50,000 bushels of value-added grain. Enter to win at cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Hey Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe back with you here on a Thursday night. Great to hear from head coach Fred Hoiberg. Huskers open the season Monday, 7 o'clock against Lindenwood. 6 o'clock pregame coverage. The women play earlier that day, noon tip at PBA against Northwestern State. 11:30 for pregame coverage, as Monday is the opening day for college basketball. Love it. We're going to hear from Mark Manning coming up here in just a little bit. In this hour, their season begins this weekend. The Huskers wrestlers are headed to Fargo, North Dakota. On our text line, again, our numbers, if you want to be a part of the show, 402-413-2400. John in Omaha says, had a hard time understanding the caller in hour one. What was the YouTube video on Nebraska? Well, if you go to YouTube, and you can find it, the links to YouTube off of Huskers.com. The football social media staff has put together a series of videos, and they go by the title of GB Rewind, and they follow the team through the week, game day, coaches' pregame speeches, those type of things. And I think they've now got 5 episodes up. They're really well done. They're like documentary style things. Just very well done, and it's kind of a peek behind the curtain of what goes on a daily basis for Husker football. And they're really well done. So you can go back. All 5 are up there. You can go, if you haven't seen any of them, you can go back, watch episode 1 and make your way through. But episode 5 got put up this week, and another really passionate locker room speech from the head coach that, heck, it fires you up. It just does. It's just a really cool thing. So that's, John, that's what the caller was referencing in hour one. But yeah, again, you can find the link off of Huskers.com, or you can just go to YouTube.com and type in Husker football, and they're all going to pop up for you to go and watch. So pretty cool thing. You know what? Tonight's a sneaky good night of college football on TV. You got a game in the Big 12. Texas Tech leading almost a halftime 17-7 on TCU. My goodness, you talk about a fall from heaven year for TCU. They were in the national championship game last year. They're now 4-4 and trailing by 10 almost at halftime. So they could be 4-5 by the end of the night. And you have Wake Forest Duke, a little ACC matchup. Feel bad that Duke's quarterback, really good player, Leonard, he has been banged up, beat up. He's not playing tonight. They're in a real battle with Wake Forest. Dave Clawson's a good coach at Wake Forest. That's a guy that if you're wanting to go poach somebody from a power league, I think you maybe could get him if you're a Michigan State or one of those schools that's job is going to be open in the coming week. So sneaky good game going on. A couple good games tonight. And now baseball's over, right? How about the Texas Rangers? The Texas Rangers won the World Series last night. They went undefeated on the road in the playoffs. That's unheard of to be able to get that done. That's just crazy that they ran the table in road games in the playoffs. That's just crazy, crazy stuff. Husker Dan, we'll get to your call here in just a minute. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to be a part of the program tonight. And also if you want to fire off a text instead of calling like Dan's calling. Cole. Got to get a hold of Cole back there. He's probably watching a YouTube video right now, Cole back there. So, so you can still be a part of the show tonight. Tech's about to try a 55-yard field goal. This is nothing for Tristan Alvano. And I think this kid made it, too. He did. So 20-7, Tech has the lead with about 50 seconds left in the first half. All right, tomorrow night, only 30 minutes for us. We will do our Big Ten pick segment tomorrow night. So we'll pick our games. Jeremiah has sent his in. We only have a 30-minute show tomorrow because of Husker volleyball. They're playing at Penn State tomorrow night, 7:30, 6:30 for pregame coverage. And, folks, we're not here much at all next week. Husker basketball bumps us off Monday. We do have a full show Tuesday night. Wednesday night, we have Husker volleyball that bumps us off the air. Thursday night, no show. Husker basketball, the men back for their second game of the season. And then next Friday, we have an hour ahead of Husker women's playing out in Wyoming against the Cowgirls. So not much Sports Nightly activity next week. In fact, it's going to get kind of skinny during the month of November because of all the crossovers, the basketball, the volleyball matches that bump us off. So you're not going to hear a whole lot of Jessica and I on Sports Nightly in the coming weeks because of all the basketball broadcasts. But I love this time of year. Love watching what our basketball teams are going to look like. Just love all of that. All right, let's head to West Point. Husker Dan, you're up next here on the program.
Hey, Greg, I'm going to help you out tonight. The first caller, I know he didn't really talk about what was going on with Coach with him influence speech or whatever, but it was all over Facebook today. It was Matt Rhule's talk about breast cancer awareness to the players in the locker room, and it was about being a warrior. I think that's got everybody just over the top. My wife even cried watching it today, so it was very powerful. I read a lot of comments on it that there's a lot of Husker fans after watching this they have so much respect for Matt Rhule right now. So I think this put it over the edge, and I just saw it. I was in awe too. I mean, Matt Rhule, our Nebraska coach, is phenomenal. And I'll let you go and you guys can comment on that.
Dan, appreciate it. Thanks for the phone call. It is. And last week's tunnel walk, they had wives, mothers down underneath Memorial Stadium and kind of part of the tunnel walk where the part you couldn't see from the stands. They had them lining up as the team ran through, and then they had a little pink decal on the back of the helmet, Breast Cancer Awareness Month for October. And, so many people have been affected. So many families have been affected by cancer of some sort, breast cancer, whatever it may be. And like Coach Rhule, his mother had it, his wife's mother had it, and so it's very personal to Coach Rhule. And so that was his speech to the team before the game last week. And people were like, it's an incredible speech. You got to fire the team up. And he laughed. He goes, yeah, we go out and immediately fumble the kickoff. So he's like, I'm not sure they're working for the team, but it's really good. So, again, I would encourage you to go watch those YouTube videos. They are very touching. They're very passionate. And you get a look at the Huskers football coach. And it's pretty impressive. It really is. Dan, appreciate the phone call. Folks, if problem gambling is burning up your money, there is a way out. Help is free and confidential for Nebraskans and their families. There's no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. All right. Mentioned college basketball starting on Monday. College wrestling begins this weekend for the Cornhuskers. Mark Manning, the head coach of the Big Red, will join me next.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975, and now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Plus, 96% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Longevity based on Experian automotive vehicles in operations versus total new registrations for model years 2023 to 2022 as of December 2022.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
We could tell you all about what makes Ford F-Series the #1 trucks in America for 46 straight years. But why tell you when we could show you instead? Because in the Midwest, talk is cheap and actions speak. On the lake, on the job, or on the town. Choose the trucks that deliver on the claims. Ford F-Series is made for the real world. This is Chiefs Kingdom. Get 3.9% financing for 66 months, plus up to $3,750 bonus cash on F-150 XLT, official truck of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 11th and November 3rd and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 24th in Lincoln, plus pregame tailgate. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter. And you may win this season.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
What's colder than the coldest? A polar bear. I have reports of a polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Huiberg here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty in town.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Everyone remembers Nebraska's national championships and Heisman Trophy winners. Most people also know Nebraska holds the record for the longest home sellout streak. But did you know Nebraska also leads the nation with 351 academic All-Americans? Or that Nebraska has more today's top 10 award recipients than any school in the country? Beardmore Subaru is proud to support and celebrate Husker athletics and Nebraska student athletes again this season. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the 3-row 2024 Subaru Ascent. It's the biggest SUV we've ever made. Love is now bigger than ever.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture, and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Not only is basketball ready to get going, but Husker wrestling about ready to start their season. They'll get underway Saturday up in Fargo against North Dakota State, a battle of ranked teams. That should be a heck of a duel to begin the year. We're delighted to be joined by Husker wrestling coach Mark Manning. What year is this for you?
23.
Woo! Boy.
Yeah.
I saw you last week at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Tolly Thompson was enshrined, and we were joking about how old Gary Pepin was. You were a young pup when Gary was already a gray fox, wasn't he?
That's right. That's right. I was just a pup when I got here behind Gary, and yeah, what a well-deserved recognition. Gary Pepin, the number of All-Americans and Big 8, Big 12 championships and national championships and national champions and Olympians he produced is just amazing. Gary's a great friend, and he was always someone I could go and talk to. He's what a great man, great coach, and left a great legacy here for our track program, and Justin's doing a great job. So, yeah.
Good. And Tolly Thompson certainly well-deserved of that honor, wasn't he?
Oh, man, what a great person. Janesville, Iowa, came here, was a national champion, was a world's bronze medalist, made a couple world teams, and then he coached with me at Northern Iowa, and then he coached with me a few years here. Now he runs a really successful real estate business back home, and he's doing really great. Got 4 daughters, and he's chasing them around in volleyball and watching them play some softball. So it's really good.
That's great. Well, how excited are you to get this thing going?
Yeah, I think our guys have really done a great job in the offseason preparing themselves for this season and just trying to be elite from the standpoint of just taking another jump in their development. And we talk about development all the time, and our guys have been doing it. You can talk about it, but you got to do it. And we have a bunch of guys that are workhorses. And, Caleb Smith at 125 kind of epitomizes that. He's a transfer we got from App State. He's a grad transfer. He's got 2 years left. And, he's going to kind of start the whole thing off. But, with veteran guys like Peyton Robb and Rich Lovett, Brock Hardy, Silas Allred, he just blends right in.
You mentioned Peyton. Let's start with him. What a scary thing for him at the NCAAs last year. Yeah. How's he doing? Is he back fully? Where is he?
Yeah, he made, I can't even describe the comeback he made over the summer. Yeah, obviously he was in the hospital for two and a half weeks and was threatened had to take his leg. Oof. And his career would have been over. But he recovered and thank God got skin graft. And I know our trainer told me back when this happened, the end of March, beginning of April, we'll be lucky to get Peyton back by August, maybe September. Peyton came back. His body regenerated itself. He was wrestling in the middle of July, and he's better than ever. Just from the standpoint, he's always been a great wrestler, but just I think his gratitude for what happened, what he went through, really displays that. He's just very grateful for the opportunity to be able to compete and wrestle and be a part of this team. And he just, he's a stronger man. You know, people talk about it, but he is. I see it. You know, I see it, and he demonstrates it. He's just a stronger person. And, you know, it's just a great lesson for our team to be grateful for the opportunity can be taken away really quick. And for him to make really a 180 from laying in the hospital days after the NCAA tournament, had threatened to take his leg and never wrestle, and looked like he weighed 150 pounds and just, he was depleted. And to where he is now, a lot of people prayed and really sent, just their concern for Peyton across the wrestling community, besides Husker fans, just the wrestling fans, was really epitomizes what kind of character Peyton Robb has and how he is as a sportsman and how he represents our program as a person. We always knew that, but he displayed it with going through something really traumatic and coming out the other end like a superstar.
That is fantastic. Thank you for updating us on that. We've had a lot of questions over the last several months about how Peyton's doing. It's great to hear that success story come out of that. And you mentioned the name Ridge Lovett. Haven't heard that name in a year. Took the redshirt year last year. Did he benefit, you think, from having the redshirt year?
Yeah, he did. He wrestled. He won a tournament overseas last January. He wasn't well publicized, but absolutely, he's just got bigger and stronger. He's much stronger for 149 than he was before, and he's just added to his skills. And he's really anxious to get back wrestling for the Huskers. And with Brock Hardy, we have kind of a death row there. 141, 149, 157. So it's going to be fun.
Well, Brock Hardy just won a big international thing as well, didn't he? At 141.
Absolutely, U23. He was world's bronze medalist at U23s. Just happened in Albania a few weeks ago, and Brock represented Team USA. They won overall. They won the whole championship, and they beat the Russians and Azerbaijan and a couple other teams. But really, he competed really well and represented Team USA and brought back a bronze medal. So. Did a super job.
Fantastic. Loved watching him compete last year. Can't wait to watch him here this year as well. And you also have some other guys who did really well for you last year, and Lenny Pinto, Silas Allred. They're back. They ready to roll? Yeah, they're ready to roll, man. They're a fun group to coach. These guys are they bring a lot of energy and effort. I had some recruits in a few weeks ago and top kids in the country, and they told me the other day, man, what makes your room different than when we walk into other places, just the spirit that within the room, just the vibe. And, that's just a credit to our guys, how they conduct themselves, the energy they compete with and train with. And just really good to see, really good to hear from someone from outside comparing, different programs around the country. And now we just have to go and do it. Awesome. First time in 5 years, Coach. I haven't mentioned the name yet. Mikey Labrioli has exhausted his eligibility. What about replacing him at 174? What are your thoughts at that weight class? Yeah, we have a number of guys there, but Elise Brown-Ton won the wrestle-off, and so he'll probably go on Saturday. And Elise has been on our team the last couple of years, done a really good job at developing himself. And he'll compete for us this Saturday. And then, we have Adam Tebow there. We have a young guy, a freshman, Christopher Mento there, Ethan DeLeon. So we have some guys there that are pushing Elise. But Elise has done a really good job and just hung in there and won some tough matches and wrestle-offs and deserves to be that guy here this week. Fantastic. All right. quick thumbnail on North Dakota State. What kind of challenge will they present you on Saturday?
They have some really tough guys. We just got to come be ready to wrestle, and they'll wrestle us really hard, and we have to be ready to go. Last year we weren't ready to go, and we had some different guys in the lineup, and we got beat, right? And so it's not where you start, it's where you finish, and that's what we always tell our guys. But I like our chances this Saturday if we bring the heat and we're ready to compete. So I think these guys are, and we're anxious to get started this week with North Dakota State, and then next Friday with Campbell, our first home duel next Friday night, November 10th. Be there.
Absolutely. Want to have a big crowd out for that as well. Coach, we appreciate the rundown. We'll be checking in with you throughout the season. I can't wait for this. I know you're excited. We've got some Husker wrestling fans that are just beyond excited about this team. I think it's going to be a fun winter for you.
Yeah, going to be great. Go Huskers. Thanks a lot.
There he is, Mark Manning, Husker wrestling coach, with us here on Sports Nightly. Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're back with our final segment of Sports Nightly here tonight. Next.
Hi, this is Husker national champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Visit a participating AGCO dealer between September 11th and November 3rd and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Iowa football game on November 24th in Lincoln, plus pregame tailgate. See True Turf and Ag in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter. And you may win this season.
Let's face it, nothing makes you look older than you really are than thinning hair. But what if you could not only increase your hair count, but promote new hair growth without surgery, without drugs with potential side effects, and without a prescription from your doctor? Well, now you can, thanks to a breakthrough new supplement called Hair Grow, provided by New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Europe. Hair Grow is now available in the U.S. Only Hair Grow contains Tocogaya, a powerful antioxidant that has received a U.S. patent. Multiple clinical studies show Hair Grow is safe and effective in promoting new hair growth. In one study, 95% of the patients using Hair Grow saw increased hair count. Don't lose more time and more hair. Try Hair Grow today to feel and look your best. Just go to newnordicusa.com or visit Walgreens or Amazon to purchase. Look younger and feel more confident with Hair Grow by New Nordic at newnordicusa.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey, Husker fans, it's Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. As we get ready to celebrate 1890's one-year anniversary, I'm proud to say the 1890 Initiative now represents 150 Husker student athletes in 9 sports. And with your help, we can keep 1890 going strong, helping student athletes get the most from their name, image, and likeness, and preparing them for life after college. Visit 1890nebraska.com to learn more about NIL and 1890 and contribute today.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Big 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Big 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Big 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Our Woodhouse Auto family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenience sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Dennis on our text line said on the GB Rewind videos, do they need approval from the Big Ten media, or is that just from Nebraska? Watch the trip to Illinois and Colorado ones. Is this going to continue the rest of the season, and will men's and women's basketball do the same thing. Probably not to that extent, Dennis, for the basketball programs. They do not need approval from the Big Ten as long as they're not using X amount of highlights, and they use only the highlights they shoot. They don't use the TV copies of that as well. And that's why we were able to do the weekly football TV shows, is we're grandfathered in with those, and we can show up to a couple minutes of game highlights for that as well. Those are good questions, though. And I know Coach Rhule has said he's not sure if he's going to continue this next year. He's going to be under a lot of pressure from the fans to do it again because it's been so popular. People love those things. They love to see what the Huskers are doing kind of behind the scenes. So I know he's saying now, he goes, I don't know if we're going to do this next year. I don't know if he's going to have a choice to do that. Speaking of next year, if you're just tuning in, the Big Ten Conference, middle of the afternoon today, did release next season's football schedule. It's out. It's up at Huskers.com. Some of the highlights, Huskers will have the first 4 games of next year at home, the 3 non-conference games, and Illinois. So we finally get a conference opener at home next year. And then, boy, the back end of the schedule is a toughie. We'll finish the season with UCLA at home, or at Ohio State, UCLA at home, at USC, Wisconsin at home, and at Iowa. So it's kind of a back-loaded schedule for the Huskers in 2024. But that's next year. We're to the present time, and it's time in our show every week, this time for Cole's Joke of the Week. We still don't have an open created for that.
Still
have to
no.
get that done.
It almost makes it better that it's just
kind of
completely dry, because it's usually dry dad jokes.
True.
Greg, the joke tonight, it's a topical joke. And I know you guys love the topical jokes. So daylight savings time has been pretty trendy. Everybody's talking about it. You're talking about it. You mentioned it a few times on this show. But, you know, it's just so trendy. And I don't know, man. I give it 6 months.
Well played. Your delivery's gotten way better on this. I think that's where you've really improved. You've upped your game on how you're delivering these.
When I'm behind camera, it's hard to sell it. So I have to sell it with the cadence of the speech.
Yeah, we don't have any more students in here tonight that could have taken over the controls so you can go get on camera. So that is pretty solid. I'm going to give that a 7. I think that's a 7. Let's see what the chat has to say. Dennis gives you a 7 right out of the gate. So I think that's pretty solid. Well done. You know, you know what a pet peeve of Matt Coatney's is that it is daylight saving time. No plural, no daylights, no savings, daylight saving time. So how about that?
I would have been a good thing I told the joke to you and not him.
Yeah, I mean, he would have immediately corrected you. I'm just saying that because you watch. I guarantee you, Coach probably not listening now.
Well, I'll see him on Saturday.
He will tweet about that in the next 24 hours.
Okay.
You watch. Shane gives you an 8.12. I'm not sure why the 1.12, but that's fine. Dryce gives you an 8, so that's good. Crypto, a 7 for the joke. Your delivery, a perfect 10. See, I'm telling you, the delivery is really, you've upped your game. Jim in Columbus, definitely a 10. Art says Cole's joke made me laugh out loud, so I'm going to have to give him a GBR, Go Big Red. So, yeah, see, you
I can't wait. The best part about that one is I can reuse it in 6 months.
Sure, bring it back in March. Recycle that bad boy. So, yeah, the results are good. Tim in Minnesota, who this time heard it. Tim has missed your joke the last couple of weeks or had to go back and hear it on the rewind. He gives you a 7.5. This is one of your better scores since we started this little charade.
I think so.
Very good. All right, folks. Only 30 minutes tomorrow night because of Husker volleyball at 6:30 for pregame. So a short show. We'll do our Big Ten picks tomorrow. We'll also reveal the picks from our chat room tomorrow night on the program as well. And again, next week, we're not here much. No show Monday, full show Tuesday, no show Wednesday, no show Thursday, our show Friday. So the crossover season is here. I love it. Basketball, volleyball, heading down the stretch. Love that kind of stuff. Just takes us away from our nightly chats with all of you. Thanks to Cole and all of you for being a part of this one tonight. Solid joke from Cole. We'll talk to you again for a brief time tomorrow night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trailtainment 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
We've got some universally big news for Nebraska Pick 5 fans. The prize for matching 4 of 5 numbers has risen from $450 to $500. Visit your favorite Nebraska lottery retailer today. Pick 5 numbers between 1 and 40 or ask for a Nebraska Pick 5 Quick Pick. Match 4 numbers and you could win $500. Each play only costs $1 and there are drawings 7 days a week. It's just another way our game is getting better all the time. Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll